when you have that many shelves to fill, you have to get things off the street. I mean, I have to. I mean, I'm sure you can buy. I looked into it at the Strand to get books by the foot, which is like so tacky. So to get books for decorating purposes is like at minimum, I think it's $45 a foot. Which like
foot, Jesus, that's very expensive.
Yeah, I mean the people who are using that service are probably like
Dorkalina Pacinas. Yeah, that's absolutely hell. You might as well just make cardboard fake.
Yeah, so that's another thing people do. My friend who worked for Restoration Hardware for years doing, I guess, like set dressing for their shoots.
Yeah.
She would like, or no, it was even a greater sin. She would take real books that obviously held no value.
And cut them out.
And cut them out.
Course, or make them boxes.
Or like paint them shut. Because
of course,
because Restoration Hardware wanted like all white books, obviously.
Yeah, of course. we need that.
We need all coastal fog.
Totally
colored
coastal
books.
fog, very much so.
You know,
but then there's also the French cream.
Yeah, with a little touch of the yellow in it as opposed to gray. Exactly. Yeah, all good colors. So I guess I'll introduce the podcast.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, this is Francesca, and this is Critical Babe Theory, and I want to welcome my guest today is Ruby McCollister, actress and impresario.
Yeah, that's a word I'm throwing out.
Okay, I think that's
let's just try it.
It's so all-encompassing.
Yes, because I have like lots of ventures right now.
Oh yeah, business ventures
that will be more public. Some will be more public towards the end of the year, and some are very public right now. I have a magical store called Surrender Dorothy, on 13 West 17th Street. So yeah, I'm not just an actress.
No, you're but a businesswoman.
But I don't want to say businesswoman either.
It sounds a little frumpy or a little angular, like Diane Keaton in that movie where she has the where she like has to adopt the baby. Do you remember that one?
Isn't it called like Mom Emergency or something? What is it called? It has some actually crazy name. And I know the cover exactly. She's in the thing.
Yeah.
The business skirt suit.
Yeah, power suit.
And like there's like a baby hanging off of her arm and like her briefcase is falling
and
open.
She's like, oh,
and she's like, this is crazy. This is freaking crazy. Yeah, no, I'm not a businesswoman. Also, I didn't go to, it's like girls are out here, like at hedge funds and shit.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like the girlinas are like,
they're ruling the world.
They are, but it's like they deserve that title.
Oh, the hedge funder.
The hedge funders. I have a big mouth and some ideas.
Yeah. That's all you really need in this world.
Yeah. and like, dare I say, I'm just an American. You know what I mean? Like,
and
if
it's
I'm really
your birthright.
Yeah, it's my birthright. It's like if I just say Ruby, an American actress, one would, just by the adjective American, one would assume that I have small business ventures. One should assume I have, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on. But, so yeah, I'm just saying impresario.
Yeah.
My parents were in theater,
And wait, what's the corollary there? You feel like theater's full of...
Well, impresario, I feel like, is a term that was sort of coined in the theater.
Oh.
Like
tell me more.
Like pre-producer. The word producer, I think you would just say impresario.
Oh.
It's very like Edwardian carnival barker to me.
Fab.
So yeah. Whatever. Impresario, bitch.
Yeah.
Like Ziegfeld Follies, like Florence Ziegfeld was an impresario.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't call himself a producer. He called himself an impresario.
That's so banal.
Yeah. And he was like
banal.
something larger than that. He was like the visionary. Like he was such, I could talk about him for the rest of my life.
Please.
But, he was such a fascist. He like said yes on all those fucking costumes.
Really?
Florence Ziegfeld.
I don't know. You speak of something I know nothing about.
Oh my God, you'd be addicted. Damn, he's so great. He's fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah. So impresario, whatever. I'm trying it on 2026.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And your store I feel like your store is getting a lot of press.
We are getting a lot of press.
Like really
sort
fancy
of classic press.
Just like
sort of
the
grade
place
A.
to go.
Yeah, like we got like a Vogue write-up by a Mark Holgate, who's like sort of like the best Vogue writer. It was like, he's like OG. He's like not 35 and under, if you catch my drift. He's like a real writer.
Right.
No diss to anyone who's 35 or under writing at Vogue. But yeah, Mark
it was
Holgate
just a
is
different
like,
institution.
It's just he was doing it when people were like, you know, smoking Marlboro Lights in the office. Or
yeah.
You know.
When things were good.
Yeah, when things were a bit more fun. Or a little
freer.
When
men were men and women were women.
Exactly.
Maybe people might say, which would get us segued to.
Well, I mean, Vogue is very interesting with the men and women thing.
Really?
Well, because women have always really worked at Vogue.
Yeah.
It's not like a man at the top is running Vogue. Like, women have really always run Vogue.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's gay men and women.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
A safe space.
Safe space. Having fun.
What about now? It's still women.
I think it's women and gay men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things are eternal.
Yeah. Or it's like, you know, like in like the bell jar, the girls could hope to get an internship at Vogue.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like in the 50s, the girls could get internships at Vogue. You want to be girl. Yeah. Like girls could do Vogue. Girls could do Vogue.
Yeah. Can girls still do Vogue?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I just mean, like, do 18-year-olds intern at Vogue these days? What is the equivalent in today's culture to the 1950s girls interning at Vogue? You know what I was just reminded of yesterday? I interned at a magazine.
You did?
When I was a teenager. Yeah, but I was in the backwaters. I was in San Francisco, and I just actually moved back from New York, and it was this magazine that doesn't exist ananymore. It was when magazines, you know, were magazines.
It was magazine.
It was called 7 by 7. It was San Francisco's like luxury.
7 by 7.
Because it's 7 miles by 7 miles, the city of San Francisco. And it was their like luxury lifestyle magazine. And so I went to work there for the summer, and I was their intern. I don't know, I was like writing copy and stuff like that. But then Dave Eggers, do you know him?
Course. Okay. Well, I worked for Dave Eggers.
I also worked for Dave Eggers.
There we go.
Wait,
I was like the shittiest intern they ever had ever.
At McSweeney's?
Yeah, at McSweeney's.
Wait, when were you there? It can't have been the same time that I was there.
It was
obviously
like 2009,
I would have noticed.
2009, 2008.
No, okay.
Yeah.
It was different.
But I was like a pipsqueak, annoying asshole girl.
How old were you? No, don't ask that.
I don't care. Sure,
okay, wait, I'm just trying to think.
You can do the math.
I mean, can I do the math?
I would rather be honestly older than I am. So
really?
Yes.
Why?
I want it over with.
No, darling. This youth is wasted on the young. It's wasted on you.
I know. But I look about 12.
Okay. Sure.
You know what I mean? So, like, I've just looked young a very long time.
Okay, I
just feel a bit weathered internally that I'm just like, let's just bump it up to 40. But I'm not. I'm 33.
Yeah.
Let the record show.
Yeah, you have 7 years to get there. That'll be great.
100%.
And then you can glory.
7 by 7.
7 by 7.
I have 7 by 7.
Okay, wait, so let me tell you. So I was working at this lifestyle magazine, writing copy. I was like, I don't know, I was like 14 or 15 years old. And
that's major.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
That's major. That's prodigal.
Thank you. You know what I'm realizing? I don't think I've ever even put that on a resume. This is like why I was just like, don't think about these things. So, and then Dave Eggers had just come out with his book, A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius. And he lived in the Bay Area. And everybody was like coming all over themselves because there's no celebrities. There's not many celebrities in San Francisco.
Not anymore.
And he was like this big deal. The book was selling so well. So the 7 by 7 magazine, they were like, we want you to go undercover to this place.
Whoa,
I know. To this place called 826 Valencia, which was like this student, you know all about it. Okay, so 826 Valencia was a nonprofit.
Got eye patches there.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's perfect. They have a pirate supply store in the front.
Exactly.
Which is,
they had different colored eye patches, and when I was at girls' school, I bought them to match my uniform.
Oh, that's...
Because I was into David Bowie at the time, anyway.
Oh my God, did they let you do that?
They did, but it fucked up my depth perception.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, you wore an eye patch so religiously it messed up your...
When I was like 13. at girls' school.
See, I also did strange things at girls' school to differentiate myself.
Yes, of course.
I did something much less interesting. I got dreadlocks.
That's major.
It was...
There was this photo shoot I was in once, and I demanded to get dreadlocks because I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to be the white girl with the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And then they edited me out of all the photos.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens
no
when
one
you
wants
insist.
to remember that.
Yeah.
So when did you get, how old were you when you got dreadlocks?
I guess I must have been 13 or 14.
So a lot was happening for you at 13, 14, 15.
Well,
you
I
were
guess
dreadlocked. So. You were working for a luxury San Francisco magazine.
I guess, no, so here's what happened. I got dreadlocks. It was my freshman year of high school, and I was at Nightingale Bamford on the Upper East Side, which is okay, so like really
that
serious.
Is major.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay. So I'm there. I just so desperately need to be different in that uniformed conformity that I get dreadlocks. I make my mother take me to a woman up in Harlem. I'm sure it was like 130.
Why were you in New York?
Because my mom and I moved here to live with her
boyfriend,
her fancy boyfriend when I was 12.
For how many years?
We lived here for 3 years.
And then you got ripped back to San Francisco?
Yeah, it was kind of my own doing because like they broke up and I was like, what are we doing here, Mom? Because I had dreadlocks and I used to get
yeah, dude, totally.
So I was like a popular girl, but they would like hold me over trash cans and slam me into walls and stuff because
at Nightingale,
because I like have a really easy like if a smell is bad or gross, I'll start dry heaving. So they would hold me over.
That is such a popular girl thing.
I know. They would hold me.
That is so major. That is the most popular thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah.
They would hold me over trash cans to hear me start dry heaving because they thought it was funny. So anyway, I got tortured even more once I got the dreadlocks. But I just wanted to be different. But anyway, it was like, it worked. But I stopped washing my hair. I smelled really bad. But anyway, that summer, I used to be friends with this girl whose mom, am I allowed to say this? His mom was like a huge pop star.
That's major.
Yeah. So she was like, they got to stay with their villa of theirs in Tuscany.
Her mom was a pop star?
Yeah.
Huh. That is crazy.
And I'll think about whether I can fully disclose this at some point, but then, so I like went to stay with them over that summer. If they had a villa
in New York.
In Tuscany.
This is Nightingale girl.
Yeah, this is a Nightingale girl whose mom is a famous pop star. I remember her house.
For sure.
Her house was like on
it?
Fifth Avenue. It was like at 93rd and 5th. And it was like a penthouse with 2 levels and then like a library on top. And I remember this is like what happens when you're exposed to extreme wealth as a child. So I was like 12 when I first saw it. And I remember going there and being like, this apartment must have been like 15,000 square feet. I remember I was like, this is a nice place. I was like, I could do this.
Yeah, no,
do you know what I mean? I was like, that was my kind of like median. Do you know what I mean?
Dude,
I was like, and then it sold like 5 years ago, the apartment, and it sold for $40 million.
No, I mean, that's like, did you see that? This is the problem. I get so off topic, but did you see the Gen Z, like what Gen Z considers like being financially stable?
No, what do they say?
Salary. So it's actually very amazing.
Okay.
Financially stable for boomers is $90,000 a year, which is, I think, fabulous.
Yeah, but they're full of shit. All the boomers I know are raking in cash.
No, for sure. But they're like, yeah, like if you're making at least $90,000, you're good. You're G2G.
Yeah.
Millennials, ostensibly the children of boomers, think it's 150.
Okay.
Which I would agree. Whatever. Okay. Then Gen X, let's go back. Gen X is 250, which I think is interesting. Yeah,
there's perverse. Well, I'm actually going to a party with a bunch of them later today, which is why I did my hair.
Yeah. I mean, I love some Gen X, some people hardcore that identify as Gen X, and I want to, And they ruined, I think they actually ruined the world.
You do?
Yeah, because they're the tech boom. And they're the internet. And I know we hate the boomers, and I know all of that, but I don't know, like, I have a lot of grace for the boomers, honestly.
Why?
I mean, I could go into this for 5 hours, but it's like, they were raised in a really, like, completely bizarre time of exorbitant opulence in the country and simultaneous crumbling of the empire. They were also the first generation to be introduced to credit lines. They were also Also, we don't really talk about this with boomers. A lot of them died in Vietnam. It's like they were
we forget.
No, they were the last generation to be drafted.
Okay.
It's like there's some honor, there's some spirit. They were like released. Technologies were released on the boomers that had never been previous. They are very similar to the millennials. It makes sense that they gave birth to the millennials. It's like they are sick, they are entitled. The deading is very I hate it, but I my parents suffered from it, but it's like I just have a lot of grace for them. I just get it.
Wow.
I just really
you might be the only person I've ever heard say
and they're
that.
also incredibly well educated.
Yeah,
it was the last time. Yeah, it was the last time public schools were like good in the country.
You know what? My mom always talked about that.
My mom always talked about that too.
She went to public high school, public university.
As did my mom. And when she moved me back to California, she was like so fucking upset about her. She was raised in Southern California. You know, post Reagan being the governor, how fucking destroyed
Reagan,
the fucking public school system was, and that her own fucking daughter.
Yeah.
Couldn't go to the same quality public school that she did.
I know.
That's insane.
I know.
Anyway, so I have a lot of sympathy for the boomies. I think Miss Gen X is a little... And we could talk about this with sexual persona as well. You know, I really like to think of generations categorized under their Pluto astrological sign.
Oh my god! Wait, tell me more.
And this is a little bit of a far out concept.
I love that,
but it does really relate to this.
Okay, which is what we're talking
about today is sexual persona. Well, Pluto moves really slow in the sky, so every generation actually has the same Pluto signification.
Oh, okay.
And so if you think about it, like the millennials all have Pluto Scorpio. If you have your Pluto, but it's also where Pluto belongs.
Oh, okay.
But Scorpio is the zodiac sign of unearthing secrets, sex, death. Back to sexual persona, it is the Dionysian.
Dionysian.
Yes, if we're talking about the Nietzschean concept of Apollonian versus Dionysian, Scorpio is Dionysian.
Okay.
Underworld, darkness, what we can't see, the sex, the darkness, the death, the transformation. Pluto, being its signature planet of Scorpio, is the planet of sex, death, transformation. So it's in its right sign. When we were born, what was happening in the world? AIDS. Sex, death, transformation.
Oh god.
Sexual thriller movies.
Yeah, like 9.5 weeks.
Exactly. Like Fatal Attraction.
Yeah,
the rise of Adrian Lyne as a powerful director.
Okay.
You know, it's like we were born during this unearthing, and Sexual Persona was published.
Oh, it was published then. Okay, so this is a book by Camille
Paglia.
Paglia?
Is Paglia. You say Paglia. It's so stupid, but
No, tell me what to do.
But she wrote this book. I think it was published 1992.
Oh, wow. For some reason, why did I think it was from... I just get these wrong impressions sometimes, and then I run with them.
So 90, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 1990 it was published, and you know, very famously it was like a smash hit. Also, I was obsessed with Sexual Persona after my father left my mother.
Oh god.
This was my mother's copy. I took it from her shelf. I wrote Ruby in it. That's from when I'm in high school. Okay. Because I think when a man hurts a woman, you need to analyze it. The compulsion is, let's get down to the ancient brass tacks of the relationship between the masculine and the feminine. And also, you're in high school, you should be thinking about this. I was, not to brag, I was sexually active in high school.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I know not all of us are, but once you start, so many of my friends weren't.
Are you serious?
I was like the big ass slut in my...
Everybody was fucking. Everybody I knew was fucking.
Right, but I dating myself, I begin this really interesting time of the millennial generation where we slowly are getting closer to Zoomers not having sex.
Oh, so there was kind of like blossoming prurience? Would that be the
word? Or intimidation.
Okay, got it.
For the sexual act. And I think, like, you know, I think guys around my age were pretty... Online, internet porn.
Oh, right,
by
right.
2007.
I always forget about this. As somebody who personally does not, nor has ever...
I have never
watched... Okay, I have one confession.
Okay, please.
As a teenager, I watched, like, lesbian porn.
Of course.
That's the extent of my pornographic.
Okay. My mother in college, when I was in college... Not when my mother was in college. When I was in college, my mother called me an emotional slut. It was one of our biggest arguments.
An emotional slut?
Well, she was raised by a British person. Anyway, but she was an intellectual. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Hey. But I didn't masturbate really like regularly until college. Like I was like using guys. Do you know what I mean?
As a dildo.
Or just like if I was horny, I was gonna call up a guy. I wasn't gonna
I mean, that seems pretty normal to me.
For sure, but it's just like when you're in high school, like ostensibly you should be masturbating more than I did, which was like once a year.
I have no memory of this.
You must have masturbated in high school.
I always had a boyfriend. I always had a
boyfriend too. Anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Isn't this I mean... And then my mom was so horrified by like, oh my God, you don't have a regular masturbating life? Like, what is your problem? She was really like horrified by it. She was like, you're such a freak.
This is a really specific slice of cultural commentary.
I know, it really is. But anyway, what I'm saying is this book to be digested later by... Okay, this is what I'm saying. Sexual Persona was written during this time and culture in which sexuality was viciously being analyzed. Men and women dynamics. It was post-second wave feminism. This is also what she's arguing, sort of against second wave. Yeah. And we're getting into a deeper, like, dare I say, more punk, more intense reality where you die for your sexual proclivities.
Because of AIDS,
because of AIDS. Or you die for your because you're like, well, you always died. Everyone could always die because of their drug abuse. But do you know what I mean? There's like a different way to die from drug abuse suddenly now. And there is this exposing of sexual life and because of the AIDS crisis and Sexual Persona written in 1990, basically at the height of that, and Pluto still being in Scorpio at the time. It was a very controversial book. And when it was published, specifically, she was mostly panned for the way she wrote, which I thought
the way she writes is... It's thrilling and exhausting.
It's thrilling and exhausting, and it's very much like she doesn't have an editor.
And it's also...
and it's like, honey, like, this is typing. You know, which is famously Susan Sontag, who was asked about Camille Paglia.
And then
and she sort of shut it down. Was like, well, she's not a writer. And I think there is actually an argument for that. But Sexual Persona, I was obsessed with this in high school, and it really, like, got me through a very hard time in my life intellectually. However, it was sort of resurrected, which I think is very interesting, by the millennials again. As we maturize the Pluto Scorpios, we take the book, we make it culture again, you know, whatever. So it was like for like during sort of like post-Trump era, like as culture and the culture war became more explicit. Camille Paglia in the recent 10 years has been sort of re-looked at.
By whom?
I mean, I would say initially like the dirt bag left.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually the quasi alt-right.
Got it.
Because she has very, very intense opinions about men and women,
like gender essentialism.
Except she really does also talk about transness. And she does believe in transness. I think, and then Camille Paglia, as she was being resurrected, the past 10 years, I think she has very now controversial opinions about transness, because I don't think she believes in this surgical altering of the body. However, like, she does in this book, in this text of 1990, she definitely writes about hermaphroditic energy of masculine and feminine and transness and people altering their genders. But especially, largely, what's interesting about sexual personae, it is a text about gender. However, it's a text about gender, which I think is very explicit, seen through comparative, like, literature and art history. That's how she's analyzing this. It's not through just explicitly, like, her thoughts and feelings about how society is. She is, like, analyzing text and artwork. But I do think the way she writes, how, like, dogmatic it is and sort of blunt and off the cuff, is, like, weirdly
masculine.
It's masculine, and she would agree with that. Big Aries energy. Camille is a very big Aries, but but not only that, I think it's, like, very much for the internet age. It doesn't shock me that this was resurrected the past 10 years, because it is, like, it has the bluntness and the, like, wait a second, the sort of almost academia of the culture war itself. And
it's just like she's saying things that I could see people feeling like she's just saying things that are true and we all know, and nobody's been saying it.
Totally. She's like the shock jock of academics. It's not, and that shock jock is so, like, is such a dated word now, because we just, like, I
lived in the same building as Howard Stern when I moved to New York.
The second time, or the first time?
The first time when I was a kid.
No.
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you living? Upper East Side?
No. On the Upper West Side. We were on 67th between Columbus and Broadway. You know the movie theater? The Lincoln Center. Not the, like, art house, but the AMC Lincoln Center.
The Hollywood themed one.
Yeah, the one that...
That's my favorite.
They were the first theater, I remember, when I moved there. They were the first theater to charge $10 a ticket, and everybody was scandalized by it. Which is amazing to think about now.
But it's Hollywood themed, like, take my money.
It's great. I love it there. They haven't kept it up the most.
I know, it's a bit ratty, but I do sort of
I remember when it opened and it was incredible. And
I'm going to just put my huge
Put your bag bomb on the table.
I am addicted to using this. It is lanolin.
See, lanolin irritates me. Really? But I love an occlusive. Is that the correct term?
What's occlusive?
I don't know. Like oily ass shit.
Yeah, I love oily ass shit. I, like, believe in oil, and
I believe in oil too. I cover myself in oil every morning.
Oil. But the thing is like, I don't think we're supposed to believe in oil.
According to whom? What are we supposed to believe in? They're, like, petroleum-based, highly tested, non-comprehensible chemical concoctions.
Well, apparently, like, oil doesn't fully moisturize you.
But what would?
I don't know.
If not this, then what?
I know. If not oil, then what? I know. And this is why I'm going lanolin. Because it's like, natural. I don't want petroleum.
Yeah.
God damn you.
I mean, I do use petroleum on my
Aquafor,
lips.
Hello.
Yeah, I use Vaseline.
I'm always like, oh, Aquafor's so chic. I love Aquafor.
No, it's not chic. It's a petroleum product.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because I love, for years and years, I thought it was the chicest fucking thing to carry a huge bottle of petroleum around in my bag. Not petroleum, Aquafor in my bag. I don't know why I thought that was so chic.
Interesting.
I thought it was hysterical and chic. And people would laugh, probably at me. But I was like, this is fucking fab. It's like having a huge Starbucks cup.
Okay. I used to carry around, like, a big Vaseline with me everywhere.
I think it's the same idea.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, and then, honey.
And now you have a giant, it's like what? I would say that's like 2 by 3 cube.
It's 2 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah.
100%. No, but at least it looks sort of awesome.
No, I love But
now
them.
It's like, I put my hand, my greasy ass lanolin
hand
on it, and
so
now
my
it looks
kids
like
are
shit.
always complaining because I just, like, leave a film of oil all over the house. Actually, every relationship I've ever been in has been, like, they've been plagued by my oil usage.
Get the fuck over it, is what I have to say.
I know. What do you want me to do? I'm sensitive. And I'm dry.
Yeah, and you're an actress and you channel the ancients and you need to be oily.
I know. What does they bring to Jesus? What do they bring? They bring myrrh, frankincense, and then they must bring some oil.
They definitely do.
Yeah, I was also thinking I would be really into like just wearing lapis lazuli.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just thinking like ancient semi-precious gems. Like I'm just thinking like there was a time when an object made of lapis lazuli would probably be the most gorgeous thing you would ever see in your life.
I know. Can you imagine that feeling?
We're perverted by the abundance of man-made objects.
I know. I mean, but I am so like in my soul, and my mother sort of taught me this. In my soul, I'm such like a 1930s girl. Like I do love like, oh my God, this is plastic. Being like, can you believe that? Like I am really like, oh my God, this is not. Oh wow! Like that like time in history of like suddenly the man-made stuff.
The manufacturing. You're thrilled by manufacturing.
I am with that. It's not my most fabulous quality. Nobody thinks that's chic. But again,
I like that headband. I think you know what I remember when I was a salesperson, what you call plastic resin.
Yeah. And
that's just how you sell it. It's a high quality cast resin.
Yeah, 100%. This is from Bigelow's. This was $4,000. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is a headband we're referring to right now.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, where were you? I really actually do want to get back to Howard Stern. So he lived in my building. Yes.
And this was when he was like making
the dude.
Yeah, he was making, who was it? He would make women like masturbate or come or get on something that he had like a little horse that vibrated. He would make like a little ride. I mean, please send me corrections if I'm wrong about this, but like he would like a vibrating horse, and like he would have women like climax on air. Like he would convince them, his female guests, to do it. It was pretty gnarly.
That is straight gnarly.
Yeah, it was gross. And he was quiet in the elevator. His hair did have a lot of volume, and his curls were perfectly treated. Yeah. But he was tall, and his eyes were downcast. And I think he probably exchanged words with my stepfather because they were in similar worlds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do want to press more on that.
You can press more. I don't care. I actually don't care.
Who was your brief stepfather?
My fake ex-stepfather.
Your fake ex-stepfather.
He was this is my version of the story, and I feel like I've tried to corroborate it in the past, and it's proven to be half wrong, but I'm going to stick with it because it's what I believe to be true. It's my received information, which is that he sold his record company for some incredible amount of money 6 months before Napster dropped.
Holy shit!
Lucky duck.
Yeah, lucky duck is he.
He was succeeding handily.
Yeah.
And so my mom was dating him, and we moved here. As a little 12-year-old, I left behind a pretty pristine social life in San Francisco. I was dating the most popular boy in all of 6th grade,
right, of course,
in the whole city, which was Max Trina, aka Danielle Steele's son, one of her sons. Do you know about Danielle Steele?
Well, she famously has my birthday.
Oh,
August 14th for life.
Okay, that's probably a great omen for
100%.
both of you.
For an impresario.
Yeah, exactly. So she famously said, I may have relayed this story before, but she famously...
Is Max the one who passed away?
No. His older brother passed away. No, he's alive. From what I know, he's alive.
Okay, I just know one of her sons passed away.
So not that one. But everybody was sort of living in the pall. Okay, this is actually also fun. That happened like a couple years before.
You were dating him?
I think so.
Oh my God.
I think so.
What a wild time to be approximating Danielle Steele.
I know. Well, so here's the really wild thing. Her ex-husband,
who...
I don't remember his name. Trina must have been his last name. He had like in the divorce gotten like this really great house. It was like a queen. It was like what do they call it? A Queen Anne Victorian. Anyway, it's on Van Ness. I probably shouldn't even say that. But anyway, he was always in head to toe, very authentic safari garb.
Max.
His father.
Okay. Okay.
His father. So he like with shorts
God.
and hat, the kind of hardish
the
hat.
hard
And he
safari
had
hat.
a polar bear rug, a real one. He had zebra. He had, maybe it was a standing polar bear and a zebra rug. Anyway, the house was filled with taxidermied exotic big game from Africa.
Holy
And he was
shit.
always in costume. Always.
That is so, honestly, so San Francisco to me. Not to be so like LA versus San Francisco, but like that is so San Francisco. Because, and people don't really talk about that.
Like you're
the
not
fact
wrong.
that like tech beat was like San Francisco, everybody's like, no, they hate Ashbury, the beautiful art. But it's just like there's always been this like
Perversity.
perverse European.
It's perverse where I come from. That's why I love it so much. I mean, I'm
Right.
perverse.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
And like the art there is fantastic. And what do you need? I mean, as Camille says, art is essentially immoral.
Yes.
And amoral.
Yes.
And so it blossomed in San Francisco before the techies destroyed
Right,
everything.
and it's always been, I mean, Gold Rush. Let's start there.
Yeah. It's just like, there's no morality there.
But the Gold Rush is so polar bear rug to me.
Tell me more.
It's just like, do I have to explain myself? Like, Gold Rush is polar bear rug. Like, it's like I have golden nuggets. Get me a polar bear, make it a rug. Bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I wouldn't want that personally.
No.
I don't want that.
Except recently I was upstate
Yeah.
at the Hudson Antique Mall.
Oh, fab.
Yeah.
So fun.
And there
Many
was a
things in this
huge-
house came from there.
I mean, I was about to be like, yeah, there's 1,000 things on my body. Like, there's nothing I'm wearing. I was like, yeah, and no. But I do frequent there on occasion.
Yeah.
Just wiping off the lanolin. And there was this huge stuffed moose.
Oh.
In a case, in a vitrine.
That's
But I liked the idea. I was like, I actually could see myself with an ancient stuffed moose if it was in a vitrine. Like, I don't want like a freestanding stuffed animal around.
Is that too threatening?
That's
too much of nature.
It's so like, get out of here! This is my house.
Totally.
You know
They
what I
had a
mean?
giant giraffe there. Did you ever see the giraffe that was there? There was a taxidermy giraffe there for like, and it was so
I saw that
big.
once.
And it made me think about the glory of the Lord because I was just like, what a world we live in.
I know. Can you believe that? I know. My mom would always use giraffes as examples, as like, in terms of like, can you believe this shit?
Can you believe it?
life? Giraffes.
It's
bitch.
if you don't know, they're huge.
And they're like horses. What?
With very long necks. Yeah.
I know. But I was just thinking like, I like the Natural History Museum. Like, I'd see, like, if I was if I was, like, Jack White's wife.
Oh, is that an option for you? I could see that.
But he does famously have a penchant for redheads.
I have heard that,
You
yeah.
do, too.
I don't know that I quite would fit the bill. Have I? I'm not.
I feel like you're a redhead.
I mean, not naturally.
I know, but I feel like you can.
I think
get
it's sort of.
Jack
I
White.
sort of feel like no. I remember going on this. I went on a couple dates with this guy who was like not white and not American, and a couple dates in, I realized that he like only dated redheads.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
And then I also realized that just because he wasn't white, he couldn't tell that I wasn't naturally a redhead. So like our whole relationship was built on this cultural misunderstanding.
Did he have sex with you?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Nothing ever got very far at all.
Right.
But it was the first, I've never quite felt, being like a fairly, I would consider myself an ethnically generic white person.
Yeah.
I've never really felt hemmed in by type in any way. And it was my first calling for that. And I felt like, oh, this is a little cheap.
Yes, I won't get into it because it's not even important. But yes, it's absolutely cheap and it's a thing.
It is a thing. I mean, look, do I have a type? Definitely.
Well, types are so... I have so much to say about types.
What do you have to say about types?
Because it's just like, I don't know. I really was... This is really intense.
Okay.
but it's like, I think like types and slash sexualities in general. I'm not talking about, do you like boys, do you like girls, do you like people?
Okay.
I'm talking about your sexuality.
Okay.
Like what you're like attracted to, also in private.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be known.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think it's like not for communion. I think sex is like very different than your type. And I think it's very different from even your sexual fantasies. And this is like a really...
You know what? One of the most transcendent sexual experiences I ever had was I was at this party, and I don't know if they do it anymore. Probably with the kids these days, they don't. I wasn't in college. I was just around people in college, maybe. Was I in college? But I was the same age as them. And I was in UC Berkeley, and there was a house there because they have all these cooperative living houses, the co-ops called Lothlorien, the one that's like based after the Tolkien books. So you can imagine just like a bunch of whatever. You want to make a judgment about that. Yeah. I mean, I love the Lord of the Rings, so I'm not going to talk shit. But they had this dinner once a year. It was called Special Dinner, and they would make like a huge banquet. And the rules of Special Dinner is that there were no utensils and that you could not feed yourself.
Wow.
And there would be like, I don't know, there was like probably like 50 people there and this like huge table laid out. So like, and very early on in the evening, me and this young man like sort of had this sort of moment, and we spent like all night together, like feeding each other. Then later on the dance floor, we were dancing and people came around and they were pouring melted chocolate all over us, and we were like licking it off each other's bodies. And you know, and then we ended up like taking a shower, but he was gay.
Right.
And we didn't have like sex the way that, but like I would say, and like I just knew him that one night, and I would say I probably had like the most purely distilled sexual experience of my life that involved like no penetration, involved someone who I think was 100% considered themselves a homosexual, and yet we had union.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's all about. And it's like type, sexuality, I think in general, is cheap.
Okay.
I think it's like, I'm sort of into this, and I'm sort of into this. It's like, that's cheap. That has nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
Sex is a spiritual act.
Yeah.
That can involve degradation, that can involve all this crap.
As good spirituality always does.
Exactly. Transgression, of course, please, of course. It doesn't have to be, but anyway. But so that's sort of, that's a controversial thing, and this is a very new feeling that I don't have much else to say about it, because it's not really backed up with more thought.
No, great. We can just draw a line in the sand.
But I am sort of feeling that way right now. That's sort of something I'm thinking about.
I think that's a great thing to think about, because I feel like I want to be freed.
Yeah, and it's like,
from my proclivities.
All of this fucking talk about poly, boo boo, yeah. Like, it's like, not to, I said that in a really
no, you can shit
disgraceful way, but
you can like, shit on polyamory.
Everybody
here
has to, everyone is focusing their libidinal energy either on figuring out their sexuality or something else, but it's like,
how about just having a lot of sex?
Or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot would be, freed if we just removed this sort of tackiness from sexuality.
So like kind of like
there's an inherent tackiness to sexuality. Everyone is tacky. Their sexuality is this is my hot take.
Even like Grace Kelly.
100%. The tackiest there is.
Yeah.
What the fuck is her sexuality? It's tackalina.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay. Everybody's tacky.
Like, I mean, but I bet Grace Kelly was I bet her fantasy life was very, very much about human bondage.
Really?
Yes, very, very much.
Huh.
Don't you think? Think about it. She's so Eurocentric, and my whole thing is that European art, so human bondage is a huge European thing because it's in their artwork.
Right.
Sexual persona.
Yeah.
They're like
Saint
into
Sebastian.
Yes, they're like into like chain people, and it's like they also invented the slave trade and slavery. You know what I'm saying? So there is that. I'm just saying, like, Bondage is European to me.
Bondage is European. Both the spiritual state of bondage and actual bondage gear for sex.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing more European
You know
than
what
that.
this makes me think about is like in the what are the books that drive me crazy? Portrait of a Lady who Henry James. It's like this idea of like the Americans go to Europe and they're like perverted by those filthy, disgusting Europeans all the time. It's kind of making me think about that.
I have so
You'd
much.
be a great candidate for that.
I love Henry James and I love Edith Wharton, and they were childhood friends, and I am addicted to both of them. But Henry James too.
You should go.
To where? To Italy and get perverted and get
sort of feel like you would be like his dream heroine.
Oh yeah, nobody has cast me in a fucking period piece like that.
That's ridiculous.
An offense.
That is an offense.
The most period I've ever gone is 70s. Can we seriously, you guys? Seriously, you guys?
Yeah.
Seriously, you guys?
A young heiress sent abroad to broaden her education.
I know.
Instead, she gets a moral schooling on what one shouldn't do.
But also Portrait of a Lady, isn't it? Oh no, that's Room with a View. That's different. And I don't think that is Henry James.
No, that's E.M. Forster.
That's E.M. Forster. Different. Which I love is like the British people have to go to the continent to get emancipated. But they are not, the British people are also not having sex. They're having sex with other British people.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're not having sex with the native population.
No, they're like understanding nature in a different way or something.
And passion through nature.
Through nature and violence.
Yeah.
Ugh. Heaven.
I mean, Room with a View is one of my favorite movies.
Me too. I mean, can you... anyway. Yeah.
So dreamy.
I watched that for the first time last year.
Oh my God.
Isn't that insane?
That is insane.
I know. Like, actually, like a year exactly right now.
It's so good.
And I cried and wept and threw up. And
Julian Sands, R.I.P. So sad.
He's so
Those
fabulous.
Adventurers. You got to be careful.
I know.
All those adventurous ones.
Masculine.
I mean, that's
the
beautiful.
Masculine drive forward.
But you know what? I was thinking, I had something I felt like I so wanted to say.
But okay, so sexual persona. I mean, like, this is all sexual. What we're talking about is sexual persona. It's like, you're like, okay, these girls can't stop talking. They're like, just talking. But we're actually just talking about sexual persona. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I sort of, when I was reading, I agree with her about everything. But then when she was talking about, not everything, I agree with her about a lot of stuff. But then when she was talking about like how sex is, it's like, basically you can't pretend that there isn't this like dark subterranean power grapple psychic whatever of like the sex act, like this idea that you cannot have casual sex, you know. And I was sort of like, Camille, I wish, do you know what I mean? I was like,
I know,
I was like, shit feels a little too neutral and casual these days, you know what I mean? I would love it if I was being pulled in by the underworld every time.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sounds like such a aspirational state of being.
But I think what she's saying, that's interesting. Because again, that just keeps, I'm like, oh yeah, because this was like written when Pluto was in Scorpio. Like, I'm just like, oh, that was like the vibe of having sex at all in the 80s and the early 90s, you know what I'm like, oh wow. But I do think, because Camille Paglia is also very, very, and she mentions it in Sexual Persona, and she would go on to teach at Temple University of Philadelphia, sort of famous classes about vagina dentata.
Right. Which is like a vagina that has teeth and it'll eat you up.
And it's like the idea that, but she in the book also states that like inherently a penis and a vaginal sexual act is the vagina dentata, is like you enter the woman hard, and then you retreat
and you retreat reduced.
You've been reduced or like eaten.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. So I do think like, even I think she's saying like, even at its most casual act, there is this like this loss. There is like loss. And what is loss? Like the underworld. It goes to the underworld. Whatever is lost goes gone to the underworld.
What I also did agree with is I feel like she talks a lot about like the fear of the feminine, which is the fear of the underworld and the fear of the earth. And what's that word? I don't know how to pronounce it. The Chthonian.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
these
even
like
think I'm pronouncing it right.
Like these like dark earthly forces.
Yeah.
And what I will say is I remember I had this person who I was with for a long time, and I felt like when we were having sex that he was like trying to get back to the womb. Do you know what I mean? Like this, like, which I thought was kind of fab. This, like, desperate attempt to regain entrance to home.
Right.
You know? And there's something really beautiful and tragic because obviously it never worked. You know, the best you can do is, like, put your seed there and then they get to have the experience. But then they get cast out, too.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of that. There's like this dumb TikTok or something on Instagram that was like, it's like this woman and she's in the kitchen with her family and her husband and she's like, everybody in this room has been inside me, you know? And I can say as somebody with children, sometimes I'm in a room and everybody in the room has been inside me.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
Experienced that feeling yet.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. But I think that really, that by definition is really like the core, the vaginal and penile act is really at the perfunctory core of this text. Yeah. And it's revealed again and again and again and again. Ironically, Camille Paglia identifies as bisexual, but she's largely only been with women, which I think is very interesting. Yeah. Sort of like a famous girl lover.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's also like, this wasn't written by like a straight woman who's been like pounded to death.
You know what? I remember I had a friend of mine a couple years ago.
She might have been a few times, but I'm just saying like
she's been pounded to death.
No, but I just do think it's like, but I do think like the piston and the, what is it? Like, it's just like this in essential lock and key of the universe of like the whole and the like
of creation.
Yes, of creation. And therefore, if you are going to talk about creation, you have to talk about art. You can't only talk about sex, which I do also really appreciate about the book, where it's like, let's talk about like men and female dynamics, but also like we have to talk about art because that's like the other, because creation has to be. I just think like, I do think like Camille Paglia, I think we get really stuck, especially when talking about sexual personae, and this is how I feel personally right now. I think we get really stuck talking about sex when we're actually just talking about like the libido. You know what I mean? We're talking about the larger creational force, and like how the libido manifests between men and women is really interesting. Like in terms of referencing, what does the fucking Nietzsche essay?
I don't know.
Yeah, what does the Nietzsche essay? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but I guess
what is the fuck?
Okay, while you look for that, I guess what I was also thinking about though, I feel like, I don't know if she explicitly said this or just implicitly, that art is fundamentally male.
Right.
That like,
I would agree with that.
It's a male. You would agree with that?
I would agree with that.
So I guess because I've been thinking a lot about this question of what was that big article, or what do people say? Why are there no great women artists? And then everybody gets their panties in such a twist.
Well, I think like art, I mean, I think this is all changing, and I think what's actually really amazing, even though we are going through this like, and I think we can say this, like, I mean, I think this is how I feel, is like we are going through this huge, especially right now, which actually began in 1990, I would say the culture war, I think like the Rush Limbaugh, shock jock culture war began in 1990. Yeah. I do think the culture war.
Is it just because Bill couldn't keep his dick out of the mouth of Monica?
Truly, I believe like the culture war started with JFK, and that's a whole different argument. But I really do believe JFK started the culture war.
That sounds like a great it sort of sounds like
it's a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. Okay. It's a theory. I know, but it would be
kind of cool if it was a conspiracy theory.
Well, I just think it began because Richard Nixon
is ugly.
Yeah, and JFK is hot. And that's how it started.
Total.
And and also JFK was one. I mean, my grandfather would always a reformed leftist Chicagoan.
Yeah, my mom was from Chicago.
And those people are intense. And when he would get really drunk at night, he would be like, JFK stole the election.
Really?
There's
from whom? From Nixon?
that there was like literally everybody, check me on this, write in the comments, say what I'm wrong about.
Yeah.
That there was voting, that Chicago was this like essential, and that he took votes in Chicago.
Wow.
Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is like, yeah, JFK, God bless him, whatever. But he was obviously hot. He had this awesome family. They looked so great.
They looked, dude, JFK Jr.
I know.
So much, hot.
Well, so much hotter than JFK.
So
like,
hot.
On a level that it's like,
so well dressed.
It's so
dude,
crazy.
It's one of the few men when I see pictures of him out and about, I'm like, oh my God.
I know. It's really fun talking. This is a point for Gen X.
Yeah.
You can talk to a lot of Gen X journalists that worked for George magazine.
Right.
That is so fucking sick. The stories from George magazine are like my favorite.
If you have any, tell us. Yeah. We'd love for you to come on, whoever's listening.
Magazine. I love George magazine.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, JFK was hot, whatever. And then he was like a little flagrant and he went back on his word. A lot of his like because you have to understand, he was the first Democrat elected after Truman, who was an extension of FDR. So we're moving away from FDR Democrats.
Okay.
We're moving. He establishes this other.
Yeah.
FDR, the best president of all time.
Right.
My favorite Aquarian.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Actually, the most the presidents that make the most long-lasting impact on like what like amendments or constitutional law are all Aquarian presidents.
You know that I have a stellium in Aquarius.
Well,
I don't want to be president.
Well, Aquarians have to. They are the like world leaders. Anyway, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, once we depart from FDR, Democrat, we move into the culture war. That's what happens. But it gets very intensified, obviously, during Reagan, during AIDS, and then we move into the 90s, and then then 9/11 obviously confuses everything, and then we have about 10 years before it starts ramping up again. Yeah. And it like that's where we are. We're
in the ramp up.
We're in the ramp up, and we're in these. I mean, we are in an active culture war We're in an active culture war right now. It's real. It's not like it's so not. It's so beyond.
I think it can be cured.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
But also, like, I do think we're moving. What my point was with that is that I do think things are changing, and I think, by the nature, and I think Camille Paglia says this in the book, is that by nature of art being masculine, it is also public. And the public is masculine. Women have says in the books also inherent privacy because they have something,
they have a womb to go into.
They also have a vaginal canal. They have a part of their body that is interacted with but is inside of them.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, man.
It is. I mean, exactly. Everybody in this room has been inside
that's
me.
Fucked
and
up.
And I'm fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I recovered. And I've been absolutely fine.
But if we can just I mean, I myself have a vagina. It's just like fucked up. It's like fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. And that a huge thing also talked in the book is that like paternity can be hidden. Women hold secrets. I don't think that inherently making art is masculine. No, it's a byproduct of being alive. We must create. It's one of the only things here to do. You know, it's like you have kids, you fuck, you make a little basket, it's there's not much else to fucking do here.
Totally.
Really not. So it's not the inherent act of art making is masculine, but art as a thing, do you know what I mean? Is because it like inherently involves society, which is not feminine. Dresses were made by men.
That's true.
Bitch.
That's true. Women
High heels.
In Rome, women wore pants, which makes a lot more sense by like if you think about the equipment.
Yeah, like why do men wear pants? They have this.
It was
whole
a switch
thing.
that happened. Yeah, it used to in Rome, women wore pants and men wore tunics, skirts, dresses.
It makes absolute sense. And men are also addicted to dresses, but that's a different
Wait,
story too.
men are addicted to dresses?
Tell
me more about this.
Are, you know, what is, I don't even know the science behind it, but it's like men are so visual.
Yeah.
Because men love looking at dresses. And it doesn't mean that their taste is better in dresses. I don't think
they like to look on dresses on women or just in
they're
general?
Just like, whoa!
Dresses.
Clothes! Dresses! That girl's wearing a dress. And it's like, that dress
Oh, you mean like
sucks.
Charlie Kirk, who's obsessed with like everybody attending his events wearing dresses
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff?
something about dresses and men. I don't have a theory here. But
Oh, interesting.
I just think there's something
Okay,
there.
well, we'll get back to that.
There's something there. Anyway.
Yeah.
They invented them. They're addicted to them. Anyway. Yeah, I'm saying really incendiary things. On
No,
this,
I
but
really
here
appreciate
we go.
men are obsessed with dresses has to be one of the most outre comments anyone's
Nobody's
ever
talking
made on
about
this.
it.
Nobody, definitely
Nobody's talking about
it.
that. But anyway.
But you know what I also like there was some very brass tack stuff that I got that she said that I feel like is so applicable right now, which is this basically she said there's this one sentence she has in the book: feminism has exceeded its proper mission of seeking political equality for women, you know. And I feel like because people are so, what did Erica Kirk just say? She's like, I didn't even, she's like, I ended feminism. You can correct me. She said something like that.
I don't know. I would never
You
know.
would never know. So,
yeah.
but it's sort of funny because I'm like, okay, well, Erica, you know, who's taken over her deceased husband Charlie's company,
Mission, yeah.
Turning Point, you know, if she didn't believe in political equality, then she wouldn't be able to own property, much less like a business or run it, right? I just feel like there's been this is the most obvious thing ever, but people are like, especially young women, have turned so hard against feminism. And I just want to say that like feminism was for political equality. Mm-hmm. That was the point of it.
That was the point,
Like,
yeah.
can you vote?
Yeah.
And can you own property?
Yeah.
I would say in some ways I'm pretty conservative, but I do think that women should vote and be able to hold property. I don't think that that's
100p.
like some crazy
and I don't want
idea.
No.
You know?
No.
So
Are you fucking kidding me? It's like,
Yeah.
I also call me a boomer apologist, but like,
women
duh,
should
women
be able to vote.
Are you kidding
But it's
me?
actually kind of being walked back a little bit
I
on the right
know.
now. But that's why I just want the younger girls to really think about when they eschew feminism and shit all over it. I want them to ask themselves, like, do you want to have your own credit card?
I agree. I
You
mean,
know what
it's
I
so
mean?
pathetic that we're even having this conversation, but we are.
That's because it's been conflated with all these other things, but that's literally
I know,
all feminism
I know.
is about.
I agree.
Political equality.
I agree.
And I do.
And it's like to have societal equality, to
Yeah.
have cultural equality, that is such a different ballgame.
It's a different ballgame. And I do
Yeah.
sort of agree with her. She says this one thing about gender. She's like, let us abandon the pretense of sexual sameness and admit the terrible duality of gender. You know? And I feel like, yes, and that can have nothing to do with a political equality. Like they're two completely separate
Yes,
things.
yes.
And I think the conflict, not conflagration, because that's conflation.
Conflation,
The
yeah.
conflation of political equality with like meaning all these things about like what women's roles should be, or like what womanness is,
What
like those
and
two.
where the woman should be.
Yeah, those two things are
It's
completely
not politics.
unrelated.
I agree with you.
Unrelated. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, again, that's why this culture war is a culture war, because we're conflating politics with culture.
Yeah, and with
It's not-
preference.
Yes,
you know?
and with preference and with like individual worship.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so, yeah, I mean, it's so boring. It's so boring. Can you believe how boring it is? Like, it's so, anyway, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I cannot believe we're, at a place where.
I think it makes sense, though. I think that,
You
like,
do?
yeah, because I feel like,
I mean, yeah, I guess.
that, because it has been, at least in like certain online spaces, there has been this like total attempt to homogenize the genders completely. Like there is some corner of thought that's been very vociferous that says like men and women are identical. They're the exact same thing in all ways. And I think that obviously doesn't really read as real to most people. So there's been like a wholesale rejection of feminism because of this small part of feminism that has sort of claimed that femaleness doesn't even exist or something, which is like it's so clear to the eyes that that's like fucking bullshit.
Right.
So I feel like that's where the culture war started. I mean, I'm always like, I want to always look at like the mea culpa of like what has the left done to create a world in which they've been so completely obliterated. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And it's like you give people inches in an argument and then they'll take a mile, you know? And so I guess, yeah, I'm down with Camille about admitting the terrible duality of gender. Wait, does that mean it's always dual? No, but it can be dual.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can be true, and also other things can be true.
Exactly. I mean, again, this is also why Camille Paglia like became recently this like talking point about this like one perspective about like, no, she's not conservative, nor is she like liberal. She's like in this miasma of like true
independent thought.
Yes.
Which is like, I think what we need to be working towards, because it's kind of hard to create a culture war if people are grounded in independent thought that doesn't fall along ideological lines, because you can't really pit teams in that conversation.
But it's interesting how she has been used, and she has been used on the right, on the left, on the, you know, she is such a controversial, like a truly controversial thinker. She does not, you cannot align this book to any sort of political ideology. She just believes in like spirit and like intensity and like the bizarrety and like, you know, like
I think this is, I mean,
but I think she does it becomes political, and she's like so incendiary and such a shock jock, which is like when she becomes totally fucking annoying in my personal opinion, because I'm just like, this could be like the best thing ever that's ever happened.
It's very invigorating. You know? When I started reading
it's invigorating.
It was so invigorating, and then I was like, oh, I see this desire, this intellectual desire. If you like cut a few like demarcating clear lines and like reveal the world, but then you have a desire to always do that with everything over and over again. And actually intellectually that doesn't function because not everything can be cut to the quick and be shown to mean only one thing ever. Right. It just is not, that's not actually how the world works. So what I did grow, although I was initially like incredibly invigorated, and I think that gives it much value, I did grow tired.
Yeah, you grow tired. I mean, it's so, and like, is that not the result? Isn't that not what we have experienced? We just get so tired of
these
relentless, incisive arguments in general on the internet, everywhere. Everyone is hot taking. Everyone has crazy ideas. Again, am I an impresario? Yes, because I'm an American. Am I a fucking shock jock? Yes, because I'm an American. Like, this is an American problem. It has become a global problem. It is a quintessentially American problem. Camille Paglia is so fucking American. It's insane. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, she is, like, that's what I loved about Marty Supreme.
Tell me more.
Marty Supreme. I think it's an amazing articulation of Americanness. Not America winning, not America being the best, but what it is to be an American.
I completely agree.
Love that.
And I love, and here's the thing, I love America. Me and too. I loved that movie. And I loved the way everybody, I heard some people were really caught up. They were like, oh, he's such an asshole. He's so immoral. And I was like, okay.
But also, it's like he's such an asshole. He's so immoral. And if you are saying this and you are an American, so are you. And how dare you deny that?
And how
about
dare
yourself?
And how
we
dare
are freaks.
you? And how dare you judge it?
Totally.
In others who are willing to plain-facedly, baldly express it in the world,
sure.
like Timmy and his girlfriend
Yes.
Kylie, who are like the paragons of Americanness.
100%. And do I long for a time like Marty Supreme time where like everyone's wearing like nice tailored trousers, like sure, of course, 100%. Like I am my mother's daughter, but like it's like, but I love America. I love being an American. It is a very complicated thing to be. It is not
for the faint of heart.
No. And like I'm not out here waving an American flag every day. Sometimes I'm like,
but you would wear
ugly.
like
sometimes like the design, but I'm like, I'm proud to be as insane as I am. Because what else do I have to be? What else do I have? What else do we have?
Yeah.
I wrote a show about this that I haven't remounted called Hollywood Soldier.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
And it was like largely, it was sort of maybe my own sexual persona. But it was this, the thesis was that in America, you have two options: to be a star or to be a soldier. And this is what being an American is. And then I wanted everybody to accept that they were an American. Yeah. And that would bring us, it can't just be a right-wing strategy.
No, it can't.
It just
the
can't.
Left has to adopt.
We just have to accept we are Americans. We have to accept it.
Yeah.
And we are freaks, and we were freaks from day fucking one, man.
Yeah.
And
think about the weirdos who came over here.
My ancestors, unfortunately.
I know mine too.
Yeah.
11th generation over here.
I mean, on my mom's side, Mayflower Company ship brought us over.
Exactly.
And then they became Mormons. Those people became more. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Is crazy.
But it's crazy. But what I'm saying is, Americans.
It's our spiritual inheritance to be freaks.
And to be incendiary and to be loudmouths. And I love literally how like immigration culture affected American culture and added to the loudness, added to the it's just fabulous. But it's hell, and it's also wildly dangerous.
Like a melting pot is dangerous. You don't want to be like in one necessarily.
No, it's like it's hot in there.
It's really hot. It's hot in there. You're gonna get spun around.
And like truly, I believe this. Like we are also cursed. I really do believe we are cursed by the genocide that was committed on this land. I do believe that. Yeah. This is all a part of my amazing show called Hollywood Soldier, but it's also a part of my just basic feelings about being an American. And America, man. I mean, but it is like this. Camille is so American. It's such a relentless book.
It's true. The prose styling is so relentless.
It's so relentless.
I felt like I was being blasted by those, like, you know, like when the air is blowing so hard, your cheeks kind of like change their shape like that in the movies, like Jim Carrey. That's what I felt like when I was reading it.
It is that. It's that exhilarating. It's that torturous. It's that exhausting. It's that physically assaulting.
And it's that relevant, I
truly,
would say. Truly. It's deeply relevant. Well, I mean, do you have any other thoughts you need to share?
I mean,
I want to see the show of yours.
I know. I stopped it.
Why?
Because stuff with my personal life got a little out of control after I debuted it. Okay. I should do it again.
Should do it. It sounds great.
It's great. It's awesome. I love it. There's I performed it at Joe's Pub, and then I performed it in LA at the New Theater Hollywood. Shout out New Theater Hollywood, with Jack Kilmer and Leah Hennessy, who also directed it. And it was awesome. It was like the thing I loved writing it. It's some of I love what I wrote. And I should remount it.
You should remount it. I'm just going to tell you. You should remount it.
Okay.
This year.
Put that on the list.
For the impresario extraordinaire.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying too. It's like, look, if you're an American,
you better have a small fucking business.
Yeah, you better. This year. Now.
I just opened up an LLC.
There you go.
I know. I'm as American as can be.
Read a fucking, it's like, what does this have to do with being an impresario, sexual persona? Everything. Why is this girl qualified to talk about anything? Because I'm an American impresario. What the fuck? Get out of here. The fuck?
Never a truer statement told.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, thank you.
This is so fun.
I know, it was amazing. I really appreciate you. So everybody, I hope you have a peaceful and joyous day. Thanks, class dismissed.